yeah, we were talking briefly before this, but I had thought I had met you more than once. I thought I had, and I
It's
maybe
entirely possible.
we might have. I don't know but I do remember we met at a con in Michigan for the first time a couple of years ago now. At this point, and I was like, this guy's fucking rad. Like, and then honestly, what the reason why I brought you on, not just because you're very talented man, very very cool dude, but you actually came up. I had Joel on a previous episode, Joel McDonald.
Yeah,
And he mentioned that you. I don't know if you still keep up with it, but play or introduce board games to him. Does this track?
I did for a little while. For
For a
while.
little while. Okay.
Dude, I know of your love.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, super weeb. No, I mean, I'm not weeb. I'm super noob. I've got a couple of them that like I learned when I went over and stayed with Mercer a couple times. He's like, "Do you know about Mansions of Madness?" I'm like, "Sure, no."
That tracks. Okay, because I believe Joel couldn't remember the name. So was this Mansions of Madness with the app or without? Was this first edition or second edition?
Man.
Oh shit, dog.
Yeah.
That's I think in the exact episode I like named. I was like, okay, it's got to be. But from your description, Mansions of Madness, because he was like Ian ran the game. I was like, okay, so this must be first edition Mansions of Madness, which tracks because I know Matt loves Mansions of Madness. Like that's one of his favorite games. And so if he introduced that to you, that makes absolute sense.
He did, and like understand that my experience was Matt Mercer running Mansions of Madness, and so I had this like wow neat thing, and then I like clumsily fumble through it for other people who just like hate everything I'm doing. And they're like, "Oh, you're gonna break my leg? That's great. You suck." Oh, cool. I was trying to
All the blame is on you. That's why. Have you played the second edition with the app?
I got the app. I haven't had a group around to have one. I mean, I don't know if anybody's had a group around in the last year, but
That's true. I will say with that, no more people blaming you.
Good.
No more. The app runs everything super smooth.
That's awesome.
It's fantastic. I'm just curious then. What other? Is this something you've kept up with, or was it kind of like at the time?
No.
Okay.
I needed a big enough group, and I honestly didn't have a group. I feel like for a lot of board games, you need to have a committed group that is willing to come over and be organized.
Yeah.
And since all of my friends are voice actors, that's just hurting cats.
What games did you have, or do you still have, or did you play, or try to play, or want to play in your collection?
I have Mansions. I have One Deck Dungeon was a lot of fun.
Yeah, that one's good.
I have the Mars Attacks game sitting on my shelf that I've not opened yet.
Mars Attacks?
Yeah, I liked the movie when I was a kid, so it was a Christmas gift from my brother.
What's Mars Attacks?
Like Mars Attacks, the movie.
Oh, Mars.
Where Mars... See, I talk for a living. I'm a mumbler.
No. I'm an idiot. You know what? I thought you were saying like Mars Attacks, like some kind of like. I was like, "What's Mars Attacks?"
It's like marzipan, but much more violent.
Yeah. I was like Marsupilami or like some kind of I was imagining some like cartoon character like, "I'm Mars Attacks." Like, what the fuck is that? Mars Attacks. Yes, that. I am the fool. Okay. Yes. Does it play well? Have you played the Mars Attacks?
Haven't gotten a group together to play it. That's the thing. Is like I needed to do that. Then, well, understand that I got into that, but it was also at the time that I was really getting into Magic again, and so like the friends that I did get to come over ended up kind of skewing toward more Magic, and then we just played a lot more of that.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I went to
just for my curiosity. Was it Mars Attacks the dice game or the miniatures game, or
dice game?
Which one was it? Dice game.
It was the dice one.
Gotcha.
I do have that. I should have. Oh, and darn it. There's a Marvel deck building one. You can hear me. I'm in my booth. Obviously, you can hear.
Is it Legendary?
Yes, I enjoy Legendary.
Oh, dude, Legendary is my favorite
great.
game. Actually, I have every expansion.
That's awesome.
So if I get really into a deck building game, I go all in on all the Do you have any of the expansions for it?
I got the Guardians of the Galaxy one. I got the Villains one just because I wanted Magneto. I wanted Magneto so bad.
That's a good set too. Yeah, I love Legendary. The only reason I bring this up is I don't think this came up whenever we talked. Probably. So that's why I was like, I just have to know. And also extend the invitation I give to everyone who is interested in board games, or if you still have that spark. If we're ever in the same area, like if you're ever here or whatever, we should play if you're down.
Oh no, that'll happen.
I'm always looking for more people, and I always say this. It's not in the fake LA way of like, we should get lunch sometime. We should get lunch, and it's like we're never gonna get fucking lunch. It's like it's really if your body is willing, if the board game spirit is willing, I am always getting people to, introducing them to new stuff. I mean, you've seen my thirst on Twitter, my constant discussion of it. So, I'm always, for me, it's an ever strong passion. But kind of going into, I know this year has been a weird one, but during this past year, what have been, like, when you have free time, if you have free time, what have you been doing during, to keep yourself occupied?
To keep myself sane?
Sure.
Dude.
Yeah.
Let's see here. So quarantine went down. I was supposed to go do a con in New Zealand. It was like 2 or 3 weeks.
Remember cons? Oh boy.
Oh god.
Yeah.
So I was going to do that. I had this whole year planned, and that all went away. We kind of hunkered down really hard. I did the same thing that everybody did about learning sourdough, but I'd already kind of had a sourdough starter and all that. I have still not. Let's see here. It's the 10th. I haven't had any takeout, delivery, or gotten anything from a restaurant since March 16th of 2020. I still haven't.
Holy shit! Is that because of you just want to be very careful? Is that it? Or
that sounds like what it would be, right? Or like that I'm health conscious. No, I'm a gamer. And after day 30, you're like, you want to see if I can go to 45? And then you find yourself at day 80, and then day 200, and you're like, I can make it a year. And then we made it a year, and then we're like, you want to see if we can go to 400 days? And then we got to 400 days. And now it's a change of lifestyle. Dude, don't misunderstand. I've had some Stouffer's lasagnas. There have been some frozen foods here and there, but it was just about not getting delivery. We got some gift cards and stuff to support some local places that were like, please don't shut down, please don't shut down, please don't shut down. But past that, it was just kind of let's see if we can do it. And there's been a lot of that. So
do you miss it?
Oh God, yes.
Okay.
Sushi
So it's tough.
Bad.
Okay, good. So you're human. Got
ramen. I want ramen. I want like a tonkotsu, just like a double, with kaidama, freaking double tonkotsu. Fucking that's what I want.
I was gonna say, you're such a big food guy. I was like, I imagine that must be punishing, but that is genuinely admirable to me, because I mean, it's healthier for you. Well, it depends on what you're eating. It does.
Home. It depends. But it's been interesting. We learned the foods that we super craved. I really wanted some just butter chicken. I just wanted it. So we learned that. I make okay hand rolls. I make white boy sushi. It's okay. But
doesn't
I just want to go
basically.
Nobu. Yeah, so let's see. That, right as it started, I started playing, I finally was like, you know what, I'm going to get my HTC Vive up. And I started playing Fallout 4, and it was way too on the nose, because it was I've got to rebuild society.
Fallout 4 is which one? I haven't played it. Which one does that take place? Which is it?
4. I mean, it's all post-apocalyptic, post-nuke.
No, but is it a specific city? Because I know 3 is it's isn't it
Boston.
DC and Bethesda? 4's in Boston.
Yeah. 4's Boston.
Okay. Gotcha,
and it's great. And the Fallout 4 VR is okay, but then then I went down the rabbit hole I figured out oh wow, they use Skyrim Special Edition as the code source for Skyrim VR. I can mod Skyrim VR.
Oh shit.
Yeah, dude.
What were the best mods you put into it?
I love Mjolnir. It makes the whole thing super overpowered. I have Thor's hammer, and if anybody comes for me at some point, I'll just be like, fine, and I'll break it out. But something that other voice actors that have shown it to have really loved is there's one that's called Dragonborn Speaks Naturally, and you can just speak all your conversations to the NPCs. So if somebody walks up, like, you just have the conversation, and it'll read. And
interesting. Okay.
Then you can program words.
You read your dialogue choices out loud, or is that, and it recognizes it?
Yeah.
Wow. That's fucking crazy.
Awesome.
Oh,
and then you can program in words and commands. So, like, your exit one for a while, I was like, F off was going to be my, like, every time I wanted to get out of a thing. Then I started feeling really bad. So now it's just, okay, thank you. Because, like, you can say that a million ways. Be like, okay, thank you. Okay, thank you. And it always shuts it off. So that, and you can get the spells, be like, flames right, sparks left. It's cool, dude. It's not.
No, that. Oh, are you kidding? That is cool as hell.
Fun.
I think that's awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah, I haven't. I don't have any of the VR stuff. A friend of mine has the. What is? I can't keep track of them. The new Oculus, maybe, or something.
Oculus,
I think.
All right.
I think, and then another friend of mine had the Vive, and. I think to me the most impressive one from what little experience I had was the Vive. I loved the controllers, how those felt.
Check out the Valve Index. You get fingers.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
Okay.
And I know that's pointless unless you're going into VR chat and want to flip somebody off. But it's like it's fun.
I should check that out. Yeah, I have very limited experience in that field, but I did play Beat Saber not that long ago for the first time, and I was like, wow, it's amazing. And that's one of the most. I'm sure for you and other people, like the most basic VR experiences you can have. No. But for me, I was like, holy shit, this is incredible. The only problem I've had, and I don't know if you know of any of them that solve this, and even the ones that claim that they solve this, I got big fucking glasses. They're wide as fuck. They are just wide. And even ones, like my friend was like, oh no, you can extend them for glasses, people. And then I still tried it, and it still would not work. Do you know if there is currently on the market a VR system that will fit any size of glasses, even the widest, biggest fucking head people like me?
I got two solutions for you. One, Valve Index does have a good, like, zoom it out and forward. I have had a friend with glasses come over and put it on. And I was like, oh, don't scratch my lenses. No, and it worked out. Valve Index has it. But some of them, and check per which one you want to get, you can just buy little clip-on prescription lenses that just...
Oh, okay.
Then you're golden.
Interesting. I'm wondering, because I have very bad vision. So, like, I got a thick-ass lens in here. Do you think that would still work?
Yeah.
Okay, sure. Then I may have to, like, if I seriously, like, consider, like, the investment of getting. So you're saying the Valve? You're saying that one's if I have to get one, that's the one to get right now at this moment.
It depends. Do you?
Well, let's get into this.
Is like for my board game. Like you have board game. Like weirdly, this last year has been a lot of VR for me. I mean, not weirdly. I've been locked in a house. So let's see here. I like the Valve Index a lot because it's got a wider field of view and it's got really good hand tracking. I play a lot of like shooters and the Call of Duty style stuff, so I wanted to make sure that my tracking was the top. So I really like Valve Index, and for optimal hand tracking, you're going to want something with outside-in tracking, and that's going to have like base stations in your corners, and you just kind of do your thing.
What's outside-in tracking?
They track you from the outside. Like you put up sensors in the corners of your room, and it tracks you from outside of you. Whereas inside out, your headset's got cameras on it, and then those are used to track where your hands are, which is okay. But if you're reaching behind your bag, it kind of goes away.
So it's almost as if, like, I'm sorry, I'm such a layman. I'm like, Professor, it's like they're scanning you from the outside, like they're like,
yes, sir.
Okay, got it. That's really cool, actually. Okay, is that how the Vive works or no? Okay, that's what I thought, because I remember my friend had to you set up the room with the Okay, that makes sense to me. All right, what else? Sorry to interrupt. I'll interrupt with more inane questions in a second.
No, as many as you need. So that was one of my big things. If tracking is one of your biggest things, you're going to want to do something like that. Valve Index is on the expensive side, and it is kind of out of stock for a long time. But if you like it, if you want to kind of get into VR,
how much is the Index like roughly?
I think it's like $1,000.
Okay.
See, what I had is I had a Vive, and so I still had the base stations. So while I had the Vive, I upgraded to the new hands, and I was like, "This is the best thing ever!" Because Alex, man, Half-Life Alex is so good.
Okay.
So for me, I just kind of got the headset, so it was a piecemeal thing. But I think it's like $1,100 or something like that.
Okay,
they're cheap. They're a lot cheaper things, and there's stuff that doesn't. I'm assuming you have a computer that can do like some gaming, yeah.
Yeah. Not like an incredible one, but I can play good, like well.
Then I think then you can rock that. There, for the people that don't want to have a good computer, there are standalone sets. I think actually HTC recently announced that they're going to be doing one. But like the Oculus stuff, they're great, but you got to tie your Facebook to it. So some people don't want to do that.
Sure.
It's fun though. If you ever get one, man, I will take you around.
What we'll do is I'll get the VR and we'll play VR, and then I'll find the way to play board games in VR, and we'll just
There's
mash
a new one.
both worlds.
There's a board game VR game that just came out a little bit ago. Like you stand around a tabletop and you do the rolling and everything in VR. It's like that, but it's still like animated on the table.
Oh shit! Is it like Tabletop Simulator but 3D? I mean, not 3D, but like in front of you. Ooh, okay. Oh god.
I think it's called like Demio or something like that.
Fuck. Okay. I mean, whenever I've used VR, I'm always like, this is rad as hell. So yeah, we'll see. I'm always blown away by it. Even like Beat Saber alone, I'm like, God, that's incredible.
It's future tech, man.
Yeah,
this is stuff we've been hearing about since we were kids. Like, it's amazing. And if you really want to be all weird about it, there's a thing. There's a driver that you can buy that'll take 2D games and make them into VR. So I'm playing BioShock right now.
Whoa.
Yeah, in VR.
Oh,
it's amazing.
Shit.
It's
and it looks good
buggy,
too.
Sometimes it
for
crashes when I use the camera,
limitations.
but for what it is, yeah, it's great. It's great.
Okay. Now here's a question for you, since you're so big into VR. Like, where do you see, like, as you know, time goes on and VR gets, let's say, better and better, where do you see it, like, what improvements do you see that will be like essential, or like where do you think it's going to go from here? Like, how will the new ones compare to ones now?
All right, I've never thought about this kind of stuff. Let's see here. I think that they're going to probably come up with some. The key to it is they're going to be able to come out with some hardware that's going to be cheap. Somebody's going to come out with something that everybody's going to be able to get, or they're going to take a loss on making the hardware so that the software will fly off the shelf. Something weird and revolutionary will happen that way, because just right now it's cost prohibitive.
Sure.
I mean, it's, unless you like really want to do it, it's at least a few $100s to get something. Better resolution is happening. I had an HP Reverb for about 2 minutes, but the tracking was not great, but the visuals were absolutely incredible. So just better lenses. Actually, now that I think about it, I can say that a lot more facial tracking is the big new thing that's happening.
Oh, okay.
Because of things like VR chat, people just love the interactivity. I got a friend of mine who I took him into VR chat, and then he went off and bought all these like body trackers so he can twerk in VR, and I've watched it.
Yeah.
And so, now facial and hand tracking is going to be a big part of it. There's one company that's talking about neural interfaces, and I don't know. But I think if it's going to reach the masses, they've got to come up with something cheap, some way.
Yeah.
I don't know how, but that'll be
How
it.
about on a basic, like, comfort level of wearing it? Like, have they gotten more comfortable over time?
Oh yeah. No, the Valve Index is super comfortable. I think actually one of the next big leaps will be wireless in general, and they're finding it and they're doing it. It just hasn't been on all sets. It is pretty annoying when you have to deal with this weird tail out of your head the entire time.
So, like, the ideal one will sort of be like a wireless, crisp resolution.
Yes.
Hand
tracking, face tracking,
and affordable. I think as far as it's gone, like, already, like, I don't think it's going to take that much longer, right? Like, I mean, as if it becomes more of a competitive field, right? As people get more and more interested in it, yeah, that'd be cool.
I still feel like I'm into some weird niche thing. Like I know like 2 or 3 of my other friends who are into it and have it, and those people get harassed by me. Like, hey man, do you want to go online and shoot some people? I really want to shoot some people. Do you want to make a squad? No, man.
It's like you're the only person who has a PlayStation 5, and you only know like 2 other people who have them, or something like that. Do you have the PlayStation 5, by the way?
No, because I
neither
weirdly,
do I.
like 2 years ago was like, oh fine, I'll listen to my brother and get a PC, which I'm so glad because like, oh dude, it was the first week of the quarantine. Everything's locked down. My agent's like, get Source Connect. Everything's going on. I booked this commercial, and I'm so excited. I'm like, oh my god, this one's gonna pay for a lot. Okay, this is gonna be good. The night before, my whole computer, which was like old Mac, like 9-year-old, like totally dies because just some updating happens. Whole thing is like, none of this works. No. So, like, I just make a split second. I'm like, it's going on my gaming rig. Re-downloaded everything, and since then, that's what it's been on. Like, my game rig is now my work rig, which is weird. It's just all in one. Man, that totally makes sense. So, do you keep up? I mean, do you do Switch? You have the Switch? I do have the Switch, but because I haven't been traveling, like, I haven't messed with it so much. That's my travel buddy.
In terms of the video game sphere, what have you been playing recently?
Valheim.
Everyone keeps talking. That's the... Yeah. I've said this on the podcast like over and over, but that's the one. It's like, it's the Viking, like, Minecraft? Is that one?
Yeah.
Yeah. Several people I know are into this one. Okay.
It's addictive. It's... I think for me, the most addictive part is the social aspect. Is that I can jump into your game, we can go kill a bunch of trolls, and then let's say that I get a bunch of cool stuff I want, it goes back with me to my game. It's not like I'm just helping you and then going back to my world. Like, there is incentive to go and, like, go on raids and go on all that stuff, and it's super easy and super social, and so there was a big group of us that was doing it for a while, and yeah.
And so, like, in the game, so it's just kind of like a sandboxy, just kind of you're just doing stuff, right? There's not like a story or anything, right? Oh, it's procedural. Ooh, shit. Ooh.
Yeah.
I do like that.
So, like, no matter what world you're jumping in, you can't just be like to your buddy, like, hey, man, if we just go over this hill, there's going to be like 15 trolls. It's going to be great. No, it's like, I don't know what's over there. Oh, it's planes? Let's go get more armor.
Oh, shit. Okay. People have mentioned this, and it sounds fun. I may have to... I might check it out. I just recently finished Hades. Do you know? Have you played Hades?
I keep hearing it's a masterpiece.
Oh, it's so good.
Yeah?
Oh, it's so good. So,
okay.
I mean, are you a roguelike fan?
Okay, see, I keep hearing roguelike.
Yeah.
Explain which genre of game that is.
Roguelikes. So Hades is more of a roguelite, but roguelike is basically the classic definition is it's a game where you go in like RPG. This is the most classic version because there's variations, but like the classic roguelike is it's like tile based. You walk around and then it's like turn based. You kill stuff, you get items, but if you die, you have to start over from the beginning. So it's like it's like you're trying to get as far as you can into the game, but as soon as you die, you have to start over. Now, you know, that's like, and in some roguelikes, there's like a element of, but you keep this progress, or like you uncovered these items, you can unlock more items to appear. And that's the loop, the gameplay loop of each run, you're getting as far as you can, but even though you die, you're like, okay, I have a little bit more experience, or I know how that enemy works, and I've unlocked some shit. This next run will be better. And so roguelikes, and some people in the comments are gonna be like, "That's not exactly." I'm like, "Listen, bitch, it's fine. It's close enough." The basic idea is the gameplay loop is you keep dying over and over, but you're progressing. And so Hades is a roguelite in that it's the genius part of the game. And I don't know, have you heard the spiel on Hades? Do you know?
No.
Oh, okay. Let me give you the spiel. So basically, Hades its narrative is centered around the fact that you're going to die over and over again. Like unless you are extremely good, you will not beat it on the first try. Although I have a friend who's just nuts and got through on like his 6th try, but that's not the point of the game. The point, because once you beat it, you just beat it over and over again. But every time you die, you unlock new narrative points with all the characters, because you're always going back to the underworld. You start in the underworld, you're trying to escape the underworld, but every time you die, new dialogue with all the characters pops up. And so not only are you progressing relationships with all the characters, and there's like almost like a persona social system where like you give them gifts and they you get more friendly with them and they give you stuff, but there's also like every time you die, you keep all the items like darkness. You collect darkness and keys and these like gems and stuff, and you can use those to purchase upgrades that will help you in the next run. So it's like, okay, I have enough darkness, I'm going to unlock this ability, and now for all future runs, I have this new ability. Or I've unlocked this new weapon, I now have access to this weapon for all future runs. And you're just becoming better and better and better. And the story is extremely well written, so it's like you're uncovering the story as you go. It's meant to be played. I played, I think, so I 100%ed, I got all the achievements. Because that's just how I like to play. Like, sometimes I just go all in. And I think that was about... Let me look at my Steam. That was about 93 hours, and that was about 100 plus runs. So I think I've beaten the game like 40 sometimes out of that. But it's constantly rewarding you. So, like, the more items you get, you can upgrade all your weapons all the way. And unlock more variations on weapons. Or... you can unlock every character gives you a keepsake that gives you a special perk for that run, and you can level those up, and you get companions and like so if you're the type who you're given like, hey, here's a ton of rewarding shit you can get just for playing the game, and you want to and it's also like a pretty challenging game, but not so challenging, like it's accessible, but it's a decent challenge. If any of what I said sounds...
Oh no, you sold me, dude. Like about halfway through, I'm like, that's the kind of thing that tickles me. I'm good.
If you start playing it, I would love to hear your progress, because it's really fun to talk to people about like, like what weapons do you like, because you also run into like the Olympian gods, and so every time you beat like a little section, because the game is segmented in like each one is like a little mini level, and you're just trying to go through levels, and you can choose paths. Okay, do I want to go for the Zeus door or for the Athena door? And if you go to the Zeus door and beat that, Zeus will give you a special perk. So every run is different because you're getting different boons, they call them, that power up your character in different ways. So you just go. It's fun to discuss with people. Do you like, which gods do you prefer? Which weapons do you prefer? Like, have you gotten this yet? Like, there's so much to uncover. In fact, I've 100%ed it. And there's still story stuff I haven't done all of it, because it's just it's that much beefy of a game. Actually, at some point I might want to try to get one of the actors on, because I just want to know how much fucking dialogue they had to record, because there is dialogue for like so many things. Like, all the characters will be like, "Oh, you're carrying that weapon? Oh, you have that item? Like, it's just like, oh my god, like." And then just the main narrative alone, I've already beaten the main narrative. I already got the epilogue. Even then, there's still story stuff I haven't heard all of, like, with the characters. It is a game that will suck you in completely. And I know you like games, so if you're looking for something to just sink your teeth into, it's just one of those things. You're gonna play a run and go, ooh, okay, one more. Ooh, one more, and then it'll be 5 a.m. It'll be like, like you'll do like 10 runs, because every time you die, you unlock more story and more items, and it's like, ooh, okay, like, I'm jealous of you, because you've never played it and you have so much to uncover. For me, like, I'm at the point where I'm probably gonna stop soon and then go back to maybe later just casually because I literally got all the achievements, but I still want to hear some of the story I haven't completely gotten, and I haven't gotten everything in the game because the game is absurd. There's so much you can get, and I'm like, it'll be like a little just every now and then little project of let's do a couple Hades runs and a little further and here and there. But
that's so cool that you can have that replayability, especially even after 100%. That's insane.
It is a masterpiece of a game. I mean, it did really well at like the BAFTAs and everything, and totally deserved like all the praise. Like I mean, people listening to this podcast can testify. Like several guests before, like, you haven't played Hades, you gotta play Hades. I was like, yeah, I know, I'll get around to it. And then now they're getting to hear the progression over the past year, and then finally me giving you the spiel. It's like I love it. It is incredible.
It's awesome. You're passing it on.
Yeah.
I would like to apologize for the dachshund explosion that has been going on for the last 2 minutes. Someone rang my doorbell twice, and they can just deal with it.
No, it's all good. It's all good. Now, sort of switching gears here. I like to give the guest an opportunity. Is there a topic you would like to bring up or a question for me you'd like to ask? If not, don't worry about it. But if there's anything, feel free.
What is your favorite food?
And
what is your, like, I don't believe to have shame about food, but what is your just like, I'm like, mine is Stouffer's lasagna, or it's like, I'm a fat little piggy, I just need to eat a ton of them. Like guilt food, like comfort guilt food. So I want to know favorite and like, I'm having a crappy day, I want my food.
Okay. Favorite food is kalbi. I love kalbi. To me, that is like, my mom is an incredible cook, actually, and so her kalbi is top notch. It is like the best kalbi I've ever eaten, and you know, everyone says it about their moms. Well, yeah. But the thing is, I know my mom is also like an amazing cook because other Korean moms will ask her for her recipe.
Nice,
and that's a big deal. So yeah, it's gotta be for sure. Like, if I could just survive, like, I couldn't because it would be terrible for you. But if just eat kalbi and rice all the time, I mean, I would. It's to me,
I would in a heartbeat.
It's incredible.
That's not an easy. That's not. Am I wrong in thinking that there's pear involved in the marinade?
There can be. Yeah, I there's depends on the marinade, but yeah, pear is often used.
I wanted to make that because I love that flavor so much.
It's so good. And like my currently my folks live in Michigan, and so like I know it's a big deal, like, when I come visit, and she's like, oh, I went to Chicago, I got some of the good meat from there's like a Korean market there or whatever. She's like, oh, I got some of that. I was like, oh yeah, it's kind of be time.
Yeah, so, you know, beef.
Yeah, exactly. As far as guilty pleasure foods, like, okay, this is not I don't feel shame about this, but like my comfort food for the thing I love the most to eat that's really bad for me is I'm a glutton for potato chips. Like, for me, since a kid, loved potato chips. So like, specifically, cheddar and sour cream Ruffles to me that is the golden standard of potato chips. There are other great ones. Listen, I could talk about potato chips for the rest of this podcast.
Are you a dipper, or are you just straight chip?
Ooh, for those?
Well, those I feel are meant for dip.
But they have flavor on them already.
They have great flavor. Oh yeah.
So for me, oh, interesting. So for me, I don't dip flavored chips. For me, I focus on the flavor. If it's a classic original Ruffle. Oh yes. Oh, I love a good French onion dip. Absolutely. But I don't dip if it's flavor. It sounds like you.
I'm a madman. No, I'm big into mixing flavors.
Ooh, okay.
Just in general, like, it was. I remember there were some foods when I was in my early 20s, in my early 20s I fixed it, but growing up there were foods like raw tomato and raw onion that I just hated. ugh, raw onions. This is so gross. It's stinky. But then I realized, and I think it was a burger. I had this weird epiphany where I was just like, just eat the burger. Don't pick everything off. Because there was some dude who was paid to come up with how this burger goes, and I should just trust what he did, because he didn't just go, and a flip-flop and a thing, and I'm going to put a fly swatter on it. Like, there's a reason for it to be there. There's, at some point, someone picked this to be the balance. Right. And so I started to kind of really work on that, and then I started thinking, all right, let's mix those. So, then I got into, like, mixing some sweet and salty here and there, and now I just use it as another element. If I wanna dip into some marinara, I might use a olive oil and roasted or sun-dried tomato Triscuit dipped in a little bit of marinara. It's real good.
That does sound good. Yeah.
If they're complementary flavors, they can really work together. Or if you've got some, chocolate and you got a salty basic Lay's potato chip, pop both of them in your mouth at the same time. Have a good time.
Absolutely. Chocolate and original potato chips are delicious. And so I listen. I love mixing flavors too. I think for me, there's also like a purity to the cheddar and sour cream one, right? It's like, I just want to now. Okay, I'm going to ask you your food stuff in a second, but. And I've had this conversation before. When you eat potato chips, do you check to see which side has more flavor powder on it, or no?
I think I do observe the chip. I don't think I take note of it, but I of course, you kind of see if this one is a full chip, or this is a slightly broken one, or like. This one's really... Actually, yeah, I totally do that.
So
I've been eating a lot of Triscuits lately, but I totally kind of look and be like, that side.
And what do you do with that side? With the side with more flavor...
Tongue down.
It goes on your tongue, right?
Downward on the tongue. Yeah.
You and I... You get it. You absolutely get it. Yes,
maximum contact. That's what receptors are for.
I knew it. I knew I could count on you. Like I've had this conversation with people, and some people I'm like, absolutely, yes. Like if I take out a ruffle and one side is covered in cheese powder and the other side has nothing, you have to put it on the tongue. Direct contact to flavor. And some people I hear they hear me say this and they think, you're a crazy person. You're looking at every chip, and I go, yeah, it doesn't take that long. It's like a millisecond. It's like boop boop up. Like it's just for me that has always been how I have eaten chips. When I saw that there is flavor powder on one side, you have to put that on the tongue. And even semi recently, I was like, how? Like, let me sort of. You ever you're trying to observe a subconscious behavior you have? Like, how long does it actually take? And I do it. I'm like, this doesn't take long at all. Like it's like a second, less than a second. Yeah, that's it. People are thinking I'm like studying like the crevices, like magnifying glass.
No,
like,
it's a subconscious like, oh, there it is.
Yeah, but I don't know how you are with food, but I tend to eat not like slow, but maybe a little slower than the average person because I like to take the time to enjoy it, right? Because some people they're and nothing wrong with this. I get it. Like they're just shoving like 10 chips in their mouth at a time. Like they just want to eat. But for me, I'm like, each chip is an experience. Like each chip. If it's like a couple small chips, sure. But if it's like a big old chip, just
one at a time.
Enjoy it.
Like savor it, because like you get like, let's say that bag's got 50 chips. You have 50 instances to have that full flavor. Or I do appreciate though, there is something different in the feeling of a full fistful of it in your mouth. Like there that is its own kind of flavor uniformity of crunch that has its own place, and I appreciate that. And usually for me, that's at the very end with all the little bits,
right?
Oh yeah, just right, pour that right in.
Oh man, the little bits. The little bits at the end, the ones that kind of collect in the corner of the bag. You got your little Crispies and your little heavy leaf. You just pour all that. Yeah, that's where you gotta finish. That's how you finish the bag. It's a ceremony. It's again.
See, my girlfriend, chip wise, she has absolutely become one of the chopstick chippers. Because she's a big red hot flaming Cheetos.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So because of that, Like she got into it, and like in general, and she's like, people at work make fun of me. Then I show them my fingers. I'm like, hey, well, there you go.
Do you, let's say you have access to, you're able to wash your hands. Do you lick your fingers after, or are you a napkin guy?
No. Why would you waste that?
Exactly.
Salt and flavor.
Okay.
I mean, if I'm out now I'm not like, oh my God. Like, going to the grocery store and trying to get those stupid little friggin' bags for like produce, and what do you always do? You lick your fingers and you open them up, but then you're sitting in there going, no, no. So I like sit there with my hands doing that for 5 minutes. It doesn't really work.
Yeah. I swear to God, I think we've been at more than one con together. But if we were just at the one,
it's entirely possible.
But this is why. But this conversation,
Wibbly. Yes.
This conversation is why I was like, this guy. We are on this guy. I like this guy. Like the fact that like you know if I'm at home, you know I can wash my hands shortly after or whatever.
Yeah.
I absolutely suck that powder off your fingers, man. That is like the last, you know, the thank you to the meal. Like, thank you. I will suck off your essence. Ooh, take that out of context. I will suck off your essence and in my mouth and enjoy it. Thank you. And then you wash your hands afterwards. But oh man, that you get it. You get like some people. They just don't appreciate food. Now
I remember us meeting and then going across the street and having beers and just talking vaguely about voice acting in general, and just the kind of like, I mean, it's, you know, whatever. And then I remember being like, yeah, that's a cool dude, and like going home and being like, you guys know this guy's a cool dude. I hear he does YouTube, and then I watched all your YouTube stuff, and I'm like, oh, that's fucking hilarious. You got great timing, man.
I appreciate it. Yeah.
Do.
I think it was God, that con, I think that was the last year that con was open, actually, because that was actually a con I used to go to. Like, it was like my local con at the time. And then I think Monica was there. I think Tyson was there. Yeah, no, it was a good time.
I am sorry about talking to my dogs. Like,
no.
These things are dead. What's hilarious
is
that, like, any voice work, asleep, passed out. First podcast I've done in a long time. Like, what's happening? Why is it happening?
Does he need some more attention, you think? Or is he...
No, like, somebody rang the doorbell a couple times, and they're just... which doesn't happen much anymore.
Gotcha. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, you got any pets?
I have 2 cats, both black.
Right on.
Yeah, they're very sweet. Yeah.
You were asking me about food. Go ahead.
I'm gonna ask you about food. Favorite food first.
I usually say noodles and dumplings, and I wanted and I keep the answer to that because it's all variations of it. Whether it be ravioli or xiaolongbao, like I love dumplings of all, like pierogi. Like anything. I love some sort of filling wrapped in some sort of pasta or dough. Oh, love it. And then just noodles. Any kind. I don't care. They give me joy.
Yeah. That's a good answer. But let's say you can only have, right? Like your not last meal, but the last time you ever get to have noodles and the last time you ever get to have dumplings. Ooh, but then it becomes a question of which ones go together. Okay, let's say they're separate, okay?
They do go together, though. Actually, I would absolutely do hand-pulled Chinese noodles and xiaolongbao.
That is
Give me some soup dumplings.
That's a good answer. I do love soup dumplings. So that's your answer, then. If it was the last time you could ever have both, you would pick those two.
Yeah. Giant pile of hand-pulled noodles.
That's a good answer. Okay. And then you
mentioned... now I have to learn that because I can't go buy it.
I'm just going to start thinking of all the... I'm going to make you have 100 cravings and so that you're going to have to become a master chef.
I have to do a YouTube. Ian makes byung byung noodles.
Fuck, I'd watch that. But now, even when, like, you know, as things are clearing up, you're still going to keep this going? You're not going to go to restaurants?
we no longer crave fast food. Well, that's a lie. Fast food cravings happen or whatever, but we at least at this point go, I haven't done it in a year. It can be something I break. And like there are a few things that have come up that I've been like, man, I would love to. And I love just junk. I want some Whataburger taquitos real bad, but I can make it at home, and you save so much money.
Yeah, that's true. So is there like a number, or is it just like, fucking, there's not even a number you're aiming for? Just, let's just see how long until it finally breaks, like that sort of thing?
There was a number, and it was a year, and then it was them. I was going on. The other thing that I've been doing is a lot of backpacking and camping. That's how I've been like, I'm not crazy. I'm outside. That's been a lot of fun. And on those days, I remember there was one time my buddy's like, cool, we'll just on the way out, we'll stop through at Buc-ee's and get some barbecue sandwiches, which y'all didn't know. Buc-ee's barbecue sandwiches are way better than they should be. Like, as somebody who loves to barbecue things, it is upsetting how good the sandwiches at that gas station are. They're so good.
That's like a chain, right? Buc-ee's, it's like a chain in the... Okay, yeah. I have not been to one, but I believe I was shown one in the distance while at a con. Like, they were like, hey, look, that's Buc-ee's. It's an institution.
Yeah.
I'm like, cool.
It's one of those things. Everybody's like, it's Buc-ee's. And I was like, okay, I'm from Texas. I don't really care. And then I went and had the barbecue, and it upset me, and I get it every time. It's good. Their chopped beef sandwich is good. But even on that day, it was like, I think I'm gonna just pack a sandwich so I can get that streak even longer. Hang on. Hey, Echo, how many days ago was March 16th, 2020? Let's see how many days I'm at now. Oh, you're not going to answer me? Fine.
March 15th.
No, Echo, how many days ago was March 16th, 2020?
Monday, March 16th, 2020.
What am I up to? 419.
Wow.
So that was 419 days ago.
Wow. Okay.
I know the places that we're gonna go, and that's kind of where we are right now. Is that like I had dinner, I had brunch yesterday with my mom at her house. So I've had that, and like we're kind of like, okay, what is gonna be our first place? And we know the izakaya, we know what we're gonna get, and we know that we got to go there, but we haven't had time to we just haven't. And then she'll come home, and I'll be like, I mean, you want me to make some curry? Yeah, let's just make some curry.
Gotcha. I imagine it's gonna be going into ultra hard mode or almost impossible mode once everyone is cleared and things get back to normal. Wait. And then socially, it's like, hey, you want to go to this restaurant? Want to go to this? Want to meet at this restaurant? That's so. But for you, that izakaya is the one of like. Do you want it to be like that's the one? Like, okay.
For my first one back, so I go, oh yeah, no, I held out. See, like now it's these little things are the pretentious bits of it. At first it was just like, I just want a streak. But now I'm like, I want my first one back to be Mr. Max, because he's always been so special to me.
I get it though. I get it. Like, because it's a big deal. Like that is not easy to do. I say this because I've done the opposite of what you've been doing, in that I've been ordering all the time, just because. And so, like, I totally get like the whole. This is an event. Like, I've gone this long. The first thing has to be this.
I will say that it has already made food differently an event, like, because every day, normally you think, oh, I don't want to have Mexican food. I had Mexican yesterday. I need something different. And we have these diets that are super diverse, and they don't need to be necessarily. In history, most people have never experienced that, and that's neat. That is super neat that we as people can do that and have a different food from a different country every single day, and that's wonderful. But it's weirdly an addiction. Like we're very addicted to just like I want something different and I want somebody to cook for me. The thing that kind of hit me about it is when I started being like, how long did that take us to make taco night? It took us 10 minutes. It would have taken longer if we went into the car and went even just to Taco Bell.
Yeah.
And then you start to realize, oh, it's not that much more. It's just you get used to paying people to do it for you. And it's not that hard of a thing. And you kind of get, like, my lunch today was just rice and eggs and some furikake and a little bit of
delicious.
lagamao. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
But like you learn how to cook quickly and easy for yourself, and that is a skill that I'm really glad I have. But what it will do more than anything is as I'm back, like even ordering Domino's would be an event at this point. And the more you can make the mundane into special in your life, like do that. Like it'll make life more entertaining. Like the first time I have tonkotsu ramen, I'm gonna cry. It's gonna be amazing.
Oh shit. No, I totally hear that. Like that's great. Like a little backtrack. So this eggs and rice situation. What's your ideal eggs and rice?
See, before my doctor told me I needed to eat less whole eggs, I would just make some nice some white rice, and then right after the rice cooker beeped, I would open it up quickly, crack 2 eggs into it, close it right back up, leave it for 5 minutes so it was just cooked through, but still with a little bit of runny.
Yeah.
But before I was just doing that, I would also throw in like 4 Kurobuta sausages.
Hell yeah. Okay.
So like the little bit of sausage juice was also in the rice. Then you just kind of cut that up, throw that in there. Whatever your hot sauce of the moment is, a little bit of furikake. I went a little too hard on laogama for a month or 2.
Yeah.
Oh, I got to the point my girlfriend go, "You ate laogama today, didn't you?" And I'm like, "Yeah, that was like breakfast." Yeah. Still smell it.
It's delicious. Okay.
It's so good. So good.
But now it's what these days?
So now I got to use egg beaters. So it's roughly the same process, but now I'm getting good at vegetables, and I'm fortunately okay enough with vegetables that I am the kind of person who's like, "What'd you have for lunch?" "I just made a bunch of broccoli. I just ate a bunch of broccoli." So I take some of that leftover, and I take whatever I have because leftovers become a large part of being able to cook from yourself all the time.
Sure.
You reincorporate that.
Sure.
What's your favorite white rice cover besides galbi?
I mean, just eggs are perfect. Like,
yeah, right?
Like if I actually had to think about like, okay, what's something like, okay, obviously, nutrition aside, like let's say you could just actually eat anything, but like something that you wouldn't get tired of, I think it'd be eggs and rice. Like I could probably eat that every meal if I had to, and I would just appreciate it every time. Like for me, it's like, runny yolk, that, or tamago kake gohan, just beat the raw eggs into the rice, mix it up, soy sauce. That's, I love that.
I found out about that on a trip to Japan, and I ate it all the time for a while. Yeah, that's why my doctor said you gotta hold back. How many eggs do you have a day? I'm like 2 to 3 at least.
Yeah,
that's a little much.
Yeah, no, eggs on rice are great. Let's see, what are other, like, I mean, if I can just have, for me, it's all Korean food. Like for me, like I love banchan. Like I love, you got your classic kimchi, but then you have, how familiar are you with Korean side dishes?
I could not list them, but if you said the name, I've eaten them and loved them. Tell me which one you're talking about.
So there's like 콩나물, which is bean sprouts.
Yes.
I love that. You got your 멸치, which are the little anchovies. You've got all the pickles, just all of them.
The pickles are my jam.
Yeah, just every pick. You got your kaktugi, your pickled, kimchi radish. You've got your pickled garlic, pickled every possible thing. You got your lotus roots. You got your. For me, like, it's funny. As a kid, I was extremely picky, and then I got over that. I think maybe middle school, high school, I started getting really interested in food, like really interested in food, and like reading about it, and like and I was like, I need to get over this, and then I very easily did. I don't know. It was just like almost like a flip of the switch. Like when I became interested in food, I suddenly stopped being picky. And my mom was the same way. So she didn't give me a hard time as a kid because she was extremely picky, and now she obviously will eat anything. Not anything. I'm more adventurous than her at this point, but But she will eat like everything she didn't eat as a kid. She eats now totally fine and loves. So I think for her, she was just waiting for me to like flip that switch, and then I became like food obsessed and trying everything, and that's why like when I meet someone like you, because I believe we connected on food when we met, and also you know Micah, right?
Oh yeah,
yeah. Like when I met him for the first time, we really connected on food, other things too, but food. Like there are a couple friends in my life where like there are people who like food, and then there are people who love food, and that you know for me it's like there are people like yourself included where I'm like if we wanted to, we could talk about food for hours. Like
absolutely.
it's that sort of thing where it's just an infinite subject. But for me, the going back to what I was saying about like my pickiness, it's like as a kid I was picky, and now I have the taste buds with Korean food of like an old Korean man who loves everything. Like I love all the
fermented
pickles,
pickly
fermented pickly, like the like like roe, like I loved roe. I love have you ever had Kanchan kejang? It's soy sauce marinated raw crab. Have you ever had that?
No,
dude. Okay, I'll have to show you. So basically, what they do is well, I think this is a dumb question, but do you like crab?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so you take a crab, like a whole crab, and you open it up, and first off, you marinate it in like a soy sauce blend, all right? And it becomes totally marinated, and then you open it up, the shell, and the insides, like all the meat inside it's sort of like, this will sound gross to some people, but you're a fool if you think this is gross. It's like, it almost comes like jellified a little bit, but it sucked up all this flavor, and it is like salty, sweet, savory, just like, it becomes this form of sort of meat. The meat just transforms, and then it becomes what we Koreans call like a rice thief, in that you just eat it with rice and you just can't stop eating. You just have to have more rice. It's so good. It's like, it's incredibly good. My mom will make it sometimes, and it's just, if you're the type of person who loves like eating the whole crab, it's just imagine that, but with like a soy sauce, like marinade, like not even marinade, but like pickling almost, and it just transforms the meat. It's really, really good. Places will usually specialize in it, but
do you know places in LA?
There's one I haven't gone to yet, but I hear they do really good ones, so let's fucking go. You know, next time you're not here,
next time I'm out,
let's just fucking go.
100%. We'll do that in board games.
Going back after board games, yes. So going back to you now, you said favorite food, and you said, no, you didn't say. You said Stouffer's. Any other guilty pleasure foods for you?
Well, okay. Yes, Stouffer's lasagna. I don't know why. That's always just been kind of one of those hangover kind of sad foods that you just pound.
No, yeah, it's like pizza rolls, right? I love pizza. I fucking love pizza rolls. Yeah.
Pizza rolls were one for me for a while. Craft American singles is a thing that like I get challenged on a lot, and I get like a lot of like, you're a foodie, how can you like that? I was like, I'm the kind of foodie who likes and can understand the tastiness in most foods. I can't pull to mind foods right now that I'm like, no, that's just disgusting. But there's a use, and like Kraft American singles.
I agree.
If you just want to thicken a sauce and give it a little creaminess, it's great. There's so many uses. So
yes,
I'm gonna say that, and just the blue box, like Kraft mac and cheese.
Kraft mac and cheese,
that's
incredible.
Jam.
Yeah.
It's so good, dude. Take it and then cook it, cool it down a little bit, put it into a rice paper wrapper, roll that up, and then fry that thing. Oh my god,
that sounds fucking good.
It's so good.
Going back to American cheese, like Kraft singles, like I have the exact same appreciation. Like, as far as like, okay, classic burger, what cheese do I want? American cheese, Kraft cheese.
Oh yeah,
meltability, right? Meltability. I don't want. I mean, listen, you can have other cheeses and fancy cheeses, and they taste fine, but nothing beats Kraft on meltability. That, and I mean, I'm sure you're familiar with this, but Koreans will take crafted mac and cheese, cook up a bowl of like shin ramyun, put a slice of melted cheese on it, and you melt it into the broth with the noodles. Decadent. It is absolutely
I like that that's
decadent.
An actual thing. The thing that I've just randomly done to ruin my ramen for years is a thing. That is so great to me.
No, yeah. It's my dad was like, hey, come here. And then he just threw in a craft single on my shin ramyun, and I was like, this is
it's so good.
incredible.
Dude, corn. Just some freaking corn.
Yeah.
A little bit of corn and garlic, a little bit of Kraft Americans. Oh. Now,
Yeah,
I will go ahead because I'm sure you have a comment section, so I'm just going to get ahead of this. I know it's not cheese. I know it's not cheese.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's so good, though. But
Yeah.
I know it's not cheese. And I can get a nice Havarti or a nice smoked pecker. Sometimes you just want American cheese.
It is more so texture than anything, right? It's texture, but also there's like a sweetness, right? There's a sweet, familiar
salty
flavor, right?
Very familiar.
Nostalgic, texture is great, and it's got that junky, savory sweetness that really fits well with, especially like, you know, I mentioned the shin ramen, like a spicy stew. It goes really well with it, and it coats the noodles in a way like, you know. I will say, like, a lot of mac and cheeses for me, homemade ones, fall flat. Like, for me, it's like, Kraft is better. And, you know, and I've had ones that are better, obviously, but a lot of ones that I just go, whatever, it's because they're lacking that creamy element, the creaminess of, like, the cheese powder mix. Like, there's something
powdered
there.
one.
Yeah.
Powdered one, absolutely. By the way, I just recently saw that if you use oat milk instead on the powdered one, it makes it even creamier. I cannot attest. I haven't tried it yet, but I hear using oat milk will knock it up even higher.
Interesting.
I use the packet one, the ones with the big old packet of sauce.
Mm-hmm.
But I really, my main use for those are camping, because I wanted to be able to have mac and cheese out in the woods, but I didn't want to bring milk and butter. So I figured out I can just boil the noodles, that stuff in there, and then like boom, mac and cheese in the forest.
Yeah, no, that's yeah. God, camping. I haven't gone camping in so long, and this whole quarantine, like I literally have a Word document that is a list of things I want to do, like when I'm free, and I want to do this, I want to do this, I want to do this. Like, you know, it's like how you mentioned, like, you know, food becomes an event for you. For me, it's like just spending time with people. I mean, it was already great before, but it just is that much more special. And things like, I never craved going like mini golfing, but now I'm like, I want to go mini golfing. Like, it will feel so much more special because I was not allowed to do it before. Like, things like that. I'm just, you know, I think the lesson everyone should take from this podcast is just enjoy everything, appreciate everything more. Whether it's food, whether it's
this year hasn't taught them that, right?
I mean, come on, yeah, you get with the program.
Well, no, like you're absolutely right. This year, at least for me, has taught like, holy crap, everything can change. Everything is like, you have to take care of yourself, take care of the people that you love, do what you can to reach out to your friends and tell them you love them, or just be like, hey man, just thinking about you, what's up? Mm-hmm. Like that kind of stuff. You never know the kind of crazy day that they're having. And everybody is being slightly traumatized by this last year, every single day for over a year. Like, hey everybody, you've made it this far. Good for you.
Yes.
Not everybody did. Not everybody made it through without being angry and bitter. So those who didn't, good for you. You did good. Go buy yourself a donut.
Yeah.
And think about the fact that I can't have a donut.
I was like, wait.
I want a donut.
And one day maybe you will be able to go out and get a donut after your celebration meal, of course.
Oh yeah, no. After the izakaya, then the next day I'm just starting my road to 20 pounds heavier of just donuts and fried food. Oh, I want fried food. I walked past a KFC when about a month ago, and I hadn't smelled fryer grease in a year, and so I was like, oh, fry, remember that smell? Oh, I want Nashville hot tenders. Oh, I want a Popeye's chicken sandwich so bad.
Oh shit. Oh wait, did that come out during the Popeye's chicken sandwich?
No,
that was before.
No.
Okay.
Yeah,
so you
that's
got
how I gained the addiction to it.
Got it.
I know how good it is.
Yeah, it is good. Okay. Well, shit, man. I feel like we could just...
Was that your hour?
Yeah, this is... I mean, we could keep going for, like, I feel like hours and hours, but... yeah, I'll just have to have you back on at some point. Like, I mean,
Please do.
There are several people where I'm like, food episodes? I mean, this already kind of became like a food episode, and other ones have also become food episodes. I'm like, get two people, double, like, bigger food episode where we just talk about food and listen. Like, I think that would be a lot of fun. So, but yeah, we should do that sometime. And also, again, like I've said several times, next time you're ever out here, board games and food. We'll make that happen.
I'll take you up on that.
Now, where can people find you?
Okay. So because of the last year and all the insanity, I have backed off. But I am available at Ian Tweeting on Twitter and Ian Sinclair Voice Actor on Instagram. At some point, I'm going to start posting. Oh.
Well, go follow so that you'll be ready when Ian does start posting.
You guys give me a ton of follows, I will totally post more. You guys, if enough of you bug me, heck, I might even stream.
Wow. What would you stream first, you think?
Apparently Hades, from what you're telling me.
Oh, fuck yeah. Yeah. No,
I would love to do something like with showing people the weird stuff I get into on VR, just because it's fun.
Ooh,
but like,
that could be
I don't know
fun.
about having like cameras on it. I don't know how all this works, man.
It is a lot of work.
I'm learning.
That would be cool too. Well, yeah. I mean, we'll see. So just follow in case he does streaming. Yeah.
And tell me if you want me to, and then I'll go. Fine.
Or maybe later. Or
maybe. I'm on the edge. I have like 4 or 5 streaming friends that keep going, bro, you're playing all these games, just do it. And I'm like, nah.
Well,
But I'm playing games and drinking beer.